Hi everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Cricket. Today I'm going to fry some pickles. So what you'll need is some of the hamburger dill chips, and in this bag I have my flour mixture. I have around 1.5 cups of flour, and then I use some panko breadcrumbs. If you don't have panko breadcrumbs, you can add a couple of tablespoons of cornmeal. But if you want to use panko, I've used around 1/3 cup of panko breadcrumbs, and you don't even have to use the breadcrumbs or the cornmeal. It just makes it extra crispy. And then I've also added just a pinch of salt because these are kind of salty. And also in my mixture I've added 1/2 teaspoon of paprika and 1/4 teaspoon of ground red pepper, which is cayenne pepper. You don't have to add those. Most everybody knows I love paprika and parsley, but you don't have to add that. And the cayenne pepper will give it maybe a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a spice. And I have my oil heating. I'm using vegetable oil up to 350 degrees. So I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, I have a 16 fluid ounce jar, but I'm not going to use all of them. Just going to take my pickles out with a fork. Just kind of shake off the excess and drop them in the bag. Alright, I got my pickles in my bag. I'm going to seal them up and shake them well to coat. Now what I'm going to do, I have a paper towel with a small bowl and my strainer sitting on top. I'm just going to dump this whole mix in there. Just kind of shake off the excess flour. And then if I want to dip anymore, I can just put my flour mixture back in my bowl. You can do whatever way. This is just easiest for me. And I will meet you at my deep fryer. Used to, I would take separate bowls and just dip them. Thought this way would be simpler, but the flour's not going through, so I'm just going to take my hands, my clean hands, and drop them on my plate to take them to the oil. And I can still reuse the flour mixture, just put it back in my bag. And make sure that they're separated. You don't have big clumps of them. Alright, this that I have left, if I wanted to fry more, I can just pour that back into my bag. And batter up some more. So I'm going to wash my hands and I'll meet you at my fryer. Alright, these won't take long to fry at all. Just a few minutes. But don't overcrowd because it will drop the your temperature of your oil. And I also have a pan with some paper toweling in it to drain them when they get ready. So my oil's not quite heated up. So when it gets heated up, we'll be back. Alright, now it's heated up. So I'm just going to take my pickles and gently drop them in the oil. Be real careful doing this. Nikki, you're splattering, honey. You gotta, don't drop them like that. You'll get burned. My daughter is helping. Gonna let those fry up for a couple of minutes. I'll be back when they get ready. Now if you want to raise up your basket and just set them all in the basket and lower them, that's fine, but a lot of times they'll stick to the basket. This way is just easiest for me. You do it whatever way is easiest for you. And if you see some that you need to turn over, you know, you can just flip them over a little bit. But usually they're fine without having to turn. These are almost done. If you wanted to go ahead and buy spicy dill pickles, that would be real good too. But I couldn't find any, so we just used the regular dill. These are almost done. I did take my tongs and kind of move them around a little bit. Kind of flip them. Alright, now my daughter, she wants to put them directly on the basket. So, to drop them in. And my daughter, she's 18, so she's old enough to be helping me do this. Any younger children would not be allowed in my kitchen if I was deep frying something. They know it's off limits. So if ever you are deep frying something, like me, the little kids would be off limits. And my daughter would make sure that they stayed out of the kitchen completely. And we explained to them why too. So we'll be back when these get done. My fried pickles are done. And I made some ranch dip. So we're going to try them. They're real good. How you like them, Nick? She's shaking her head yes. She won't talk if she knows I have the camera running. Oh, double dipping. That's alright, it's just us. But anyway, I hope you enjoy. Alright, my husband's gonna try one on camera.
Delicious.
He's in here watching one of his horror shows. We don't like to watch them, so he has to come back to the bedroom to watch them. So I hope you enjoy. Now you can give me my plate back.
Wait a minute.